Hello, what have we here? And welcome to another episode of the There Are More of Us show, where we celebrate creators spreading positivity and love through their love of Star Wars. Today, I am joined by my friend Noah. You may know him as Lord Vader, but we're going to hear about him and his Star Wars story here on the There Are More of Us show. There are more of us. Noah, how's it going?
It's going good, sir. How about you?
Good. Welcome to the There Are More of Us show.
I'm happy to be here. The intro was phenomenal. I'm excited.
Thanks. I took a little bit of a break between recording these, but I always wanted to have you on here since you are the man that put me in the suit.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't take all the credit. You had to put on the boots yourself. So
Yeah, but if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know where to go.
hey, like I said, I'm just more than happy to get more Vaders out here. So
Yeah, and now you have an awesome Django cosplay as well.
I do. I just recently finished that, probably within the past 6 to 8 months. It took me a really long time just because getting the finances together, and then the costume itself is not only a tricky one, but it's not a common one.
Yeah.
So it was a real challenge to get together, and I'm still technically working on it.
Yeah, I mean, take it from two of us that have done these things. These things aren't cheap.
No,
Show some appreciation for your cosplayers,
yeah,
for your
absolutely.
501st and Rebel Legion people.
Mhm.
So I gave people obviously a little bit of a taste of what you do, but for those that don't know you, what kind of content do you make?
Oh man. So I'd have to say it's primarily Star Wars. In fact, it's really only Star Wars. But it's a lot of really different random things. Mostly it's I don't want to say skit, but it's like taking modern trends that are currently going around on TikTok and putting like a really stupid Star Wars spin on it. I loved making content where like Vader comes in as like a shock factor. Not a lot of people expect him to pop up in really stupid scenarios like that. So primarily just revolves around Star Wars. Um, and I'd like to expand the content that I do from this point on. But as of right now, I've found a great community with Star Wars so far.
Yeah, I think the funniest one, the one I felt like real for was where you're just like, oh babe, wear your most expensive outfit to dinner, and it's the Vader suit because it is very much the most expensive suit you
Oh,
will
absolutely,
ever most likely own.
one
Oh
hundred
my god.
percent.
But yeah,
But
oh, go ahead.
it's just like it's like taking weird little dumb trends like that. Or it's just like putting Vader in situations that people don't commonly see him in. I did the Deadpool dance, and nobody would ever
Mhm.
expect anybody to really do that dance, let alone in that type of suit. And I even showed it to Spencer Wilding at Ocala Comic Con, and he's just like, "How the hell did you move like that?" So that was a big compliment coming from the man himself. But
Yeah, it's moving in that suit is interesting. I feel like for my first several troops, it was like I'm just, doing the basic things. I'll do the force choke, I'll do a little wave, and then I'm not
mhm,
moving. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden, like a year in, like I'm doing the jerk, I'm like, doing the cat daddy, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good.
you get used to it. It becomes a part of you in the best way possible.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so obviously you love Vader, you love being in the 501st. But to get there, you had to start with Star Wars at some point. What's your Star Wars story?
It's nothing super complicated, and it's not necessarily the most eventful story. My mom, I think, was a big fan, and she would sometimes leave it like on playing in the house. She would watch it herself, and I obviously just subconsciously. There was no point where I was like, "That's when I first watched Star Wars." I genuinely
Mm,
don't remember the first time. It has literally just always been there. And since then, it got me through so much as a kid. Obviously, growing up is challenging for everybody in their own different ways. Star Wars was always a consistent avenue for me to feel this type of escape, and it's continued to do that for me even now in adult life as well.
mm. So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what does Star Wars mean to you?
Ah, it's slightly embarrassing because at this point it's almost a majority, if not my entire personality. But it means everything. I think the most important words that I gave was escape,
Mhm.
because as I said, world's an interesting place right now, and it always has been. Um, and the fact that someone one day sat down and came up with the universe that George Lucas did, and just created something for so many people to be absolutely enthralled in. It's really special to me because it's I don't know, it's just really cool to see so many hundreds of thousands of people, millions around the world, just get so invested in something that literally flat out doesn't exist,
Mhm.
like their life depends on it.
Yeah. And I know being in the 501st, we both sort of have this unique relationship with bringing that to life for people. So
Hmm.
talk about what it's like to troop, and going to different places and seeing not only just adults that love it, but also little kids.
Yeah, so it's really special to me. When I built my suits, I took pride in. I don't even necessarily like calling it cosplay. I know that's exactly what it is, and I'm not trying
Mhm.
to be a snob, but what I tried to do, I'll never forget when I first saw 501st Darth Vader. I think I must have been like 5 or 6 years old. But I went to some library in Wisconsin. I think Timothy Zahn, if I didn't butcher his name. I think he was doing a book signing, and sure enough, the 501st obviously showed up as they typically do, and this Vader looked absolutely phenomenal. And as a 5, 6 year old kid, that wasn't a guy in a costume. That was like, oh my god, he's arrived and he's here.
Mhm.
And so that stuck with me. That never left at any point. And now that I'm at the point where I'm now behind the mask and I get to see, there is nothing more special to me than being able to not only see that same reaction in the kids, but have a costume that looks so good and be able to move and act, just in the same exact way that most people think Vader is. There is something extremely special about also having adults that look at you and are like, "Oh, that's Darth Vader."
Mhm.
My own mom even said she got chills when she first saw me in costume. It's an incredibly it's a testament to how well designed the character was, and it's just so fun to be able to bring it to life for people, when not a lot of people ever could see something like that in person.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And obviously, in these past few weeks, we lost James Earl Jones. But I think being a part of the legacy of Vader, even just like the small part, even for it, if it's like this, 1,000 people that we may see in trooping over the course of like a year or something like that, it,
Mhm.
it just, it just really, you can't help just feel love and joy from it.
No, you can't. And there's a lot of other feelings and emotions that you get from it. Some of them aren't always the most healthy, but you do. There is this sense of, I don't want to say, and I'd say pride,
Mhm,
especially even in the 501st, because at the end of the day, it's called Vader's fist for a reason.
mhm,
You are the guy. I hate to be like that, and obviously every costume and trooper is important, but Vader is always and will be the top.
mhm, yeah. So now we're gonna get into favorites, your favorites of things from Star Wars. What they are and why you love them.
Okay.
We're gonna start off with your favorite Star Wars book.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh lord, this is bad. Do comic books count? Because
Yeah, I will absolutely allow it. I love Star Wars comics.
Christ. Oh, this is bad. So I think out of all this, I've only actually read, I think it was one or two Star Wars books, and I remember the Jango Fett, the Kid Boba Fett series that came out.
Hmm.
It was like meant for young adults. I picked it up when I was like 5 or 6. I think those are my favorite because those are the only ones I've read.
Hmm.
I have no doubt Heir to the Empire. I've researched the book a lot. I have not read it. I'm gonna have to go with that one, even though I
Hmm.
haven't technically read it. But as far as reading goes, I'm almost illiterate, so I ain't got nothing for you on this one.
Well, the next one you're definitely gonna, and I feel like we're already gonna know one of them, maybe even two of them. Your favorite Star Wars characters from any era, legends or canon.
Okay, how many do I have?
You get three.
3. Okay. Darth Vader, obviously
Yep.
up there.
Yeah.
Jango Fett, that's my
Yeah.
obvious second one. My third one to complete the Holy Trinity is always an extreme challenge, because there are a lot of really high quality characters out there. Um, it's really hard. I like is I believe Obi-Wan is probably the third highest quality character, out of the rest of to pick from. But there's just something about him that doesn't want me. I don't know if it's the Vader in me. I just don't want to give him that credit. I don't want to put him up there. Um, oh man, this is tough. I really think Yoda is underrated.
Mhm.
He's also adorable. I don't know. Like I feel like I have this Kermit the Frog type love for him that if I saw him in person, I wouldn't be able to handle myself. But you know what? I'll do it. I'll give it. It's Obi-Wan. He's
Okay.
he's probably 3.
Well, so you are giving them the high ground. Okay.
I'm gonna have to. I'd say Ahsoka is tied for a very close spot with that.
Mhm.
Um, she's up there with the goats. A lot of people don't give her that credit for some reason. I really don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know. I love her. We both grew up with her.
mhm,
And I think that just seeing where her character's gone from being, a Padawan through I guess she's a knight
mhm.
now, by characterization, but going from, teenager to adult, and seeing the different things she's gone through. I've absolutely loved her journey.
So this is also really embarrassing, and we can expound upon this later if you want. You may have grown up with Ahsoka. I did not. I did not watch Clone Wars until season 7 had come out.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's completely fine. Yeah, no, I remember seeing the Clone Wars movie because it came out around my 14th birthday.
Mhm.
So I saw it and I walked out and I was just like, that was that that
Something.
that was Star Wars.
Yeah.
That was Star Wars. And I remember I think it was after maybe one of the NBA playoff games or something, or an NBA game that they were showing the first couple episodes on TNT.
Mhm.
And then I completely forgot about it until I heard Maul was coming back. And then I
I
was like, "Oh."
I saw the movie, and then I did play the Lego video game, but outside of that, I was pretty clueless. I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah, I had to, rent those season DVDs from probably the library because I don't think Blockbuster was still
No, probably not.
here. Yeah.
It was also really embarrassing. There was a part of me that was just salty as a big Django fan and a big Tamora fan. I loved his voice. I think it's up there as with James Earl Jones, and I know that's a hot take for sure. But he has such a unique and raspy voice that when they replaced that for Clone Wars, I was salty, and I kind of just like as a child protested it for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's fair. When Rebels came out, I protested it because Clone Wars ended.
Yeah,
And I was just like, and then I heard Ahsoka was in it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm back. They just know
yeah,
how to draw me back in. They put
they
in my
do.
favorite characters, they draw me back.
Star Wars does that.
Yeah. Um, what is your favorite Star Wars quote?
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a really, really hard one because I like. There's a few different types of ones. I think one of the coldest, and this isn't going to pop up a lot, but uh, when Boba and Bo Katan are arguing
Mm,
in that the tavern, whatever it was they were in, and she said something. I've heard your voice 1,000 times, and he goes, "Mine might be the last one you hear." Something like that.
yeah.
That was like, oh my god, that like I don't know something about the execution there. That was one
Mhm.
of the coldest lines, but for one of like an inspirational one, oh man, that's hard. I'm just gonna have to stick with Django and Bo, because or Boba and Bo, because that one I don't know something like it's so simple, but it was
Yeah.
so effective and just like a knife to like, whew,
Mhm.
that's a man.
Hey, Tim Morrison deserves more love. I know a lot of people love him. He deserves more love, you
Hmm.
know. I still remember, what was it, Celebration Anaheim, that he was on the stage and he was just like, yeah, people were calling me Boba Fett. And I'm like, you know what? Leave that man alone. He ain't have to come back.
Yeah, that's horrible. Out of everybody that didn't deserve it, he probably deserved it the least. He has been nothing but kind and receptive and amazing to fans. He's been a genuine angel, and anybody that's ever interacted with him or met him in person, they know he's the best.
Yeah. So I just, you know, Star Wars fans, be better to the Star Wars actors. Uh But yeah, so that is a great quote. I also would love more Boba to interact with the Mandalorians more.
Hmm.
I just think that's a really cool angle to harp on.
Hmm. There's another one, and I'll bring this up quickly, but Jango Fett in the Bounty Hunter video game, he's holding some senator by his clothes, like right over this big drop, like a bottomless pit, like off of a skyscraper. And I think Coruscant guards or whoever, they come up and they fly in their ship and they have all their guns blasted and pointed at him or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they said,
Mhm.
release the senator right now. And he goes, as you wish, and just chucks him off the side of the building.
Mhm.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's like, be careful with your words.
Yeah. It's like, you said, bye.
Mm. I feel like most of us might know the answer to this next question, given who we are. But what is your favorite musical piece from Star Wars?
Oh, okay. So oh no, this is a lot harder. Believe it or not, it's not Imperial March for me.
Wow.
It
Okay.
is
All
not.
right. All right.
I think it's up there. I think it's one of the best themes, but it is it's not. I have a few that I would throw up there. I can't ever put a number one.
Mhm.
Yoda's theme, I feel like it will
Okay.
always should be up there. Leia's theme doesn't get better than that.
That hits the
It
soul.
hits, especially over the past few years, especially post death. That song will always hit. Um, I love every single variation of the Force theme and everything that they've done with that. The Force Awakens trailer, the original one that got everyone absolutely jumping,
Mhm.
that variation of the Force theme is phenomenal. But Across the Stars, that's probably going to have to be my
My
go-to.
man. My man. I also loved I don't know if it was the first or the second trailer for the Rise of Skywalker, the
Mm,
Duel of the Fates, that I believe they moved to a higher key, but like the horns when they
yeah.
hit, whoo.
Hmm.
I was looking for that in the movie and it didn't happen. I was like, well, I was looking for a lot in the movie and it didn't happen, but we won't talk about that. uh so you got all those questions beforehand, but
Mm,
I save a surprise mystery box question
okay.
tailored to each person.
Uh-oh.
So for you, if there is any moment that either in a Star Wars movie or TV show or something that you wish a Star Wars movie or TV show would do with Darth Vader and you got to stand in for one scene, what scene would that be and why?
Oh boy. So if there was a brand new scene and I could stand in for that,
It could
or
be a brand new scene or it could have been in one that's already been filmed, even if you want to bring it from animation to live action.
so oh, this is tough. Um, Honestly, a lot of people would probably expect me to say the Rogue One hallway scene.
Mhm.
Um, but the choreography for that sounds miserable. It looks miserable, and I don't know if I'd want it like because moving like that in costume, I got to give it up. That was not Spencer. That was a stunt. But that's not easy. I would have to say, and this is genuinely my favorite Darth Vader, just straight up scene in Kenobi when he walks off the shuttle for the first time and he walks into
Mm,
that town and he absolutely just terrorizes the entire presence. Like just everyone's just frozen just by walking. You just see that long shot from the boots all the way up to the top of his helmet. That would easily be my by far the one that I would want to go in for because I take pride in my Darth Vader walk. Um, and so to get that sweet shot of myself and then to turn and just snap like that, like
yeah.
whew, that is easily my go-to scene.
Yeah, I don't uh who was in the suit for Kenobi? For at least those kind of scenes and not the stunt scenes.
So it's really unfortunate because I think Lucasfilm, not going to ever speak badly about them, but what they try to do, it doesn't seem like they give a lot of their body actors the credit that they're supposed
Mm,
to get.
mhm.
I noticed a lot of the Mandalorian guys, and there's a lot of people that brought that guy to life. Pedro was maybe in the suit for no more than 10, I'd say 5 minutes of screen time if we're being generous.
Mhm.
Um, I genuinely don't know. I know there were two separate body actors for Kenobi. I know
Mhm.
Hayden, the only time he was actually truly in the suit was when he had his cracked mask. Everything else, he wasn't in it. So I don't know their names, but I know there are two separate guys that did that.
Yeah, I got to give it up to them, and hopefully we find out who they are because they crushed it.
No, I
Yeah.
say people can say whatever they want about Kenobi. I really don't care. That they got Darth Vader right.
Hmm.
Nobody can take that away from him. It was a phenomenal job, from the costume to the actors to the way that he talked. Um, it was all spot on.
Yeah. Uh, but it was great talking to you, man. I'm happy that we were able to get this done. Before we go, let people know where they can find you and your amazing content.
So you're gonna see my stuff everywhere on NoahJMaurer. It's just my full name. That is currently my Instagram and TikTok user. It might be in YouTube, I don't know, but as long as you reach one, you'll find them all. And if you haven't, just check out my stuff there. And if any of you need any advice or anything on building the Darth Vader costume, or really anything Star Wars cosplay whatsoever, my DMs are always open. I will always be happy to help.
Yeah, and as a testament, as a testimony to I got my Vader because of this man. I had the point with this that way, whatever that way. Nope, that way. Yeah, there it is. Because of him. So yeah, no, he's very helpful throughout the entire process.
Mhm.
Also, I congrats to you because not too long ago you hit 10,000 on Instagram.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely loved the Wilt Chamberlain-esque photo that you took for that.
I'm a big basketball guy just as much as I am Star Wars, so I try to infuse the two anytime I can. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the Pistons to do a Star Wars night so I can walk out onto the
Wh-
court as
What do you
Vader.
think's gonna happen? Them doing a Star Wars night or winning a playoff game first?
Uh See, it's really up in the air because they haven't done the Star Wars night since 2017 and they haven't won a playoff game since
Oh Lord. Well, reach out to
I don't
Cade
know.
Cunningham or something like that. I think he's a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll see.
I'm
But
praying for you.
yeah, I'm trying. Hey, the Tigers are doing well. The Lions are doing well. The Red Wings are probably going to do well. Michigan won a natty last year. I'm all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I
But
can't
all
give
right.
Michigan too much credit.
Well, they didn't get convicted of anything. All right, so
No,
they're
that's
innocent until proven guilty.
that's important.
But all right, man. Thanks for coming on. It's always great talking to you. Make
Of
sure you
course.
guys check out Noah's awesome content. Give him some love. Throw some comments his way. Be careful about the thirst comments. All right. He is a person under that mask. You know.
I am more machine than man, so let it fly, people.
But I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the There Are More of Us show. Make sure you like, comment, and go give Noah some love. And until next time, remember, there are more of us.